What is up, everybody? Got a little different video for you here, but it's pretty cool. I haven't been in this shed for a long time. Want to see what's in here? So this is my 94-year-old grandfather's machine shed. He's still kicking. Still has his driver's license, actually, but I came over here to look at one of his tractors and he told me it was in this shed, but it's not in here. It's got a old style B, D, Massey 44 standard. These things have not ran in years. 44 special. That was parked at one of the farms years ago, and some kids took a baseball bat to it and smashed the hell out of it. This one here is pretty cool. I've worked on this thing a lot of times in the past. 8440. This one has a 50 series engine in it. He still uses this one for some tillage. But let's go find what I came here to look at. This is what I came to look at. It's 1977 4430. Last year they were made. Very straight old tractor. So this old barn's seen better days. I spent my childhood growing up in this barn. This was our shop. Got my grandpa's here. This is where my dad ran his tractor restoration business. Paint exhaust fans up there. Still his old paint cabinets there. I haven't been in this barn in a long time. Grandpa was out here with me. I hit the key and this thing fired right up. I went out and drove it around the yard. I don't remember when he bought this. That's where it came from, in Fairbury, Illinois. I know when he bought it, I repainted the yellow on the rims. But the rest of it, I believe, is original paint. He hasn't used this in probably 5 or 6 years. It used to be his planting tractor. My dad does his planting for him now. This is my handwriting. I obviously serviced it for him in 2017. Wow. See if I can make a deal with Grandpa on this one. I would like to have this one. Well, it's a couple days later. Me and good old Grandpa came up with a fair market value, and I wrote him a check. It's on its voyage back to my shop. I already have Napa bringing all the filters. So when we get back to the shop, we'll drain every fluid in this thing, change all the filters, and give it a major cleaning. I gotta get Grandpa's planter monitor and his fold box unwired and get that back to him, but drives down the road great. It's a little hot in here without the AC working, but luckily it's a cool day. Just wait, we're gonna clean this thing up nice. And then I'm gonna run augers this fall with it, because What prompted the purchase of this is Mrs. G said that I cannot use the 190 XT that we just finished to run augers this fall. So I said, you know, that means I'm going to have to go buy another tractor. Who doesn't want an excuse to buy another tractor? And she said, so be it. So it didn't take me long to go talk to Grandpa. Anybody that follows my channel, I'm not a big green guy. I like red and orange, but this is a nice 4430. And I did not buy this with the intention of flipping it. And I'm sure I'll sell it someday, but instead of batwing mowing with my 7250 Magnum, now I can use this on the batwing and use this on running augers, filling grain bins, and you know, whatever. If I got a rotary hoe in the spring, I can use this. I'm always looking for a reason to buy another tractor. Well, I made it home. It's got something leaking like usual on these things up here, but we'll figure that out. While it's warm, let me get some tools and some buckets. Let's drain the engine oil. We'll drain the transmission oil. And then once she cools down, we'll drain the coolant. We'll give her a full service. This is a really straight old tractor. The fenders aren't all hammered on it. They're not rusty. Got a quick hitch. The rear rubber's in real good shape. This is 100% original paint other than the yellow. I repainted the yellow ages ago for him, but I think it's gonna buff up really nice. This isn't one that we're gonna go all hog wild on restoring. We're gonna clean it all up, service it, and use it. If I were to repaint anything, it'd probably be the fuel tank. It's kind of chipped up. Fuel tank and the typical frame rail on these John Deere's. Paint always falls off of them. That would be it, but it's got a half a tank of pretty darn old diesel fuel in it, and I think once it's serviced and cleaned up, I still have to mow all my ditches one more time, and that's a couple day ordeal. I think I'll unhook the Magnum from the batwing, put this on it, and run it and burn through that fuel. But we'll get to servicing it and see what's up with the AC. It's been converted to 134. The thermal switch is smoked. So let's get to it, and then we'll do some serious washing and interior cleaning and buffing. But the interior's in really good shape too. I put a cab kit in this years ago, so it's still holding up. I know you guys aren't going to be able to see much of anything down under here, but I'm going to start with draining the hydraulic oil out. Pretty sure these hold about 15 gallons if I remember right. Mama. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that wasn't gonna come out. Looks like it's gonna end up having about 10 or so gallons in there, or at least that's what's come out of it. I still gotta pull the filter. But let's drain the engine oil. It's pretty black, but like I said at the beginning of the video when I looked at it before I bought it, it's my handwriting on the filters. Looks like 125 of 17. So 8 years. To show how much my grandpa's used it in that 8 years, it has 7,320 hours on it right now. So in 8 years, it got 70 engine hours put on it. That's not much. I don't see any major leaks or anything. Like, this is I think this is a pretty good purchase as of this moment, I could say, I guess. It's got somebody put this hydraulic hose on here to make less of a mess draining the oil filters. That's nice. Okay, let's see. Well, the plug's all rounded off as to be expected from people using the wrong tool. So we'll put a new pipe plug in there. All right, I shut the fuel off so I can change the fuel filters, and there's some crap in this fuel screen there, so we'll take that off. Let's grab these fuel filters off. Make as huge of a mess as possible. Diesel still smells like diesel, so that's a good thing, not turpentine. All right, let me turn the fuel on. You gotta crack this to let the air out. And then there's a bleed bolt on the backside of the fuel filter housing. Okay, I've got fuel coming out there. Alright. Take that oil filter off. New pipe plug for the filter drain. Alright, I'm going to put some drain plugs back in, get rid of all these buckets, and then we'll put engine oil back in it. So as I've been working on this, I've been trying to think back a long time ago as to whatever I have done to this tractor. just remembered that I made up all new battery cables. Oh, that is my handwriting also. Yeah, it makes sense. 2017 was what was on the filters, the oil and fuel. He normally brought this thing to me every winter to service it, so he probably didn't have many hours on this filter from the year before in 16. So I didn't change it obviously, but I made up all new battery cables and converted it to two 12-volt batteries, which explains why it cranks up so much faster. That inner filter hasn't been changed since 2010. Thing's really not that dirty. A little bit of crap in there. Actually, there's quite a bit of crap in there. That's better. Man. Okay. Didn't give me a new seal. Oh, the old one looks fine. Okay. The rubber packing must have fallen down in there and I didn't see it because it's not there and it's not on the cat. Okay. Hey, it came loose. Oh, that's perfectly clean. That's a good deal. Just a little bit of normal sludge on the very bottom of the casting there, but not bad. I'm not even going to take that thing to clean it. It's not dirty at all. All right, so the AC is not working. I know that I didn't do this retrofit because whoever did it the hillbilly way and didn't change the high pressure fitting. They just did the low pressure fitting. So I had one of them. I just swapped that out. I pushed down the valve core and nothing. She's stone empty. So I'm going to hook up the AC machine. We're going to pull it under a vacuum for a while. The thermal switch is fried, or thermal fuse. I'm going to pop a new one of them in. We'll recharge it, try to get the system working, and then after it runs Freon through everything, then we'll put the leak detector on. And I'm really scared These are original, going up this cab post. And if any of my viewers remember the 4430 project I did over the winter, I think it was titled Just Say No. Those were bad on that one. But that one, the wheels were set out wide. This one, not so much. They're on 30s. So, I'm going to hook the AC machine up. We will grease the front end, all the steering and the axle pivot. And then I'll grease the wheel bearings in the back and put hydraulic oil in it. I've got the new cab air filter, but the only piece of upholstery in that cab that's at all drooping down is this. So I'm going to vacuum this off and put a bunch of glue, try to get it to stick back down on there. Then we'll put that back in. Well, it's been pulling a vacuum for almost 30 minutes. It's pulling 30 inches, so if there is a massive leak, the alarm or the machine would alarm at me and say leak, because it can sense if it's trying to pull down, and it just keeps having to pull harder and harder because it's sucking air in somewhere. But that's about to be done. Throw a bottle of this in here and then fill it up with new fuel, help clean out the fuel system from sitting. I got it filled up with hydraulic oil. I didn't show it, but the hydraulic fill cap is the breather, so I let it sit in my parts washer the whole time I was servicing this to try to get it cleaned up. Alright, she's charging her up. Get it charged up, and when it tells me to fire it up, we'll see if that compressor will turn on. I'm going to crank it for a second with the fuel shutoff pulled out so it can build some oil pressure here before I start it. Alright, here we go. Like cold air. Let's get out and see if the compressor's running. Yeah, Yeah, she's running. For today, those readings are about perfect. Let it run and circulate freon through everything for a while, and then we'll get out the leak detector. That's pretty darn good right there for an R134 system. That's a big temperature drop. The only thing I see that's concerning me a little is there's no condensation coming out of the drain on either side. I took a blowgun and tried blowing up through there. I may have to take the roof up and pull that evaporator cover off. I'm sure it hasn't been blown out forever anyway. Alright, I'm going to shut this down and we'll get the leak detector out. Alright, I'm getting all the coolant drained out of it. I just turned on all the lights. Amazingly, even the dome light works. The tail lights work when you put it in on the road setting. That's pretty wild. Don't have to fix any lights. Coolant's all drained out. I just got to dump new coolant into this clean bucket, and I'll use the air vac to put it under a vacuum and pull it in. So I went around and used the leak detector so I could just show you guys where I found the leaks. And to answer that, they are everywhere, as I expected. Shaft seal. Where are you? See it. There's one on the condenser up towards the top somewhere. I got it to go off multiple times. This one's a really slow leak on the condenser, but as I feared, so here's a real good indicator. See all this dust right here that's stuck to where that insulation's broke? Yep. The dreaded cab post line. So, me being me, I already had figured the price on all of these parts before I made a deal with Grandpa. I figured on a new sand and conversion kit for sand and compressor. Allstate Ag Parts sells that, and they sell a complete, every single line on it. It probably comes from High Capacity, but, or not High Capacity, AP Air, but ASAP sells it on their website. So I'm going to get every single hose. I'm not sure if I'm going to get a new condenser and hydraulic cooler. I'll think about that. That's not a real big leak at all, but we'll change all the lines up the cab post. It comes with a receiver dryer and a expansion valve. We'll flush the system. We'll clean out the evaporator. We'll clean out them drain hoses. But this is going to be a long enough video for sure here, guys. So I'm going to cut it right here. I'm going to fill it back with coolant. And then the next video will be me and Mrs. G making this thing look like new again. And once I get all the AC parts, I can do a video on doing the complete AC on it. So there you go, guys. Grandpa's tractor. It's a good tractor. I'm glad I got it. So it can go to use and not sit in his barn, collect dust. So thanks for watching. If you like it, if you like this content, please hit the sub button. We've been dragging the bottom of the river trying to get to 5,000 subs, and we're really close. Keep us motivated by getting us over 5,000, please. So have a good one.